So as of right now, the tornado warning stops at Yukon and Mustang. But with that being said, damaging winds here coming across the metro. And they have eased back a little bit. Looks like more like 80 mile an hour winds now. A lot of heavy rain, a lot of lightning, lots and lots of wind shear in here. The current time is 9:12, and they're now about to cross the I-35 corridor here at 9:12 this evening. And Blanchard, got to watch that area down by Blanchard. Indications are of some rotation developing there. But again, not immediately here showing any indications of it big-time tornado. And the winds are now about 80 on the damaging straight line winds. So you see those hot red and greens. You can see them for yourself. They separate. See that? The red and the green separate. They were there right next to each other, and then they fan out. See that? Right there. And what's left of that's near Yukon, all right? So that can easily redevelop, but when you see everything exhaling, that's good in terms of tornado genesis instead of inhaling. And right now, that line is exhaling. This area here down by Will Rogers is picking up some. Very dynamic situation here, literally mile by mile. But right now, don't see any imminent tornado here in this bow, this great big bow here with damaging winds. And the straight line winds have eased back to about 80 miles per hour right now. And there's the broad view, the velocities there, looking at it. So there you go right there.
It's tornado warning just for Oklahoma City, issued.
Yeah, we got the, you're probably getting a notification on your phone right now. So basically what the Weather Service here is going to do is they're going to put the tornado warning out for Oklahoma City based on these two hot spots here that are still there that could easily generate into tornadoes. All right, so we're showing indications there of confirmed tornadic activity. We've been showing those to you, and now they're indicating that right now. Will Rogers, Southwest Oklahoma City, I-40, Rockwell, Penn, May, Council, County Line, tornado warning, I-40, up into War Acres and Bethany. Back over to Aaron Brackett here. Tornado warning now for the Southwest and West Central and Central Oklahoma City proper, including Bethany and War Acres, and then points northeast from there. Aaron, go.
Yeah, we're seeing that right now. I mean, it's incredible. This is how these situations go. We start out with things looking better for a second, then they go downhill again. Let's see if we can maybe pan around with the roof camera and just kind of look around here. We are pretty right now, so we're Western and I-40. Again, nothing really bad here. A little bit of driving rain. We're using the night vision here. The lightning is, of course, picking up, and we're looking for, of course, anything hanging down the clouds. It's going to be really tough with this rain that has really developed out ahead of it. So that's problematic. The highest level wind speeds are already behind the shield of rain that has begun. But again, there's these two spin-ups that are worth paying really close attention to. And even if there's, the whole thing could spin up at any point, as it's been doing. These QLCS spin-ups go up in a matter of minutes. They change. So, I mean, anywhere really in Oklahoma City, just take your tornado safety precautions. Just do it now. Protect yourself, your family. Get inside, away from windows. You can see lots of lightning coming in here. I mean, we're on I-40 right in front of down. See the Devon Tower, really. The rain is coming in. The wind.
Aaron, hang on. Let's go back over to radar. So developing tornado now, just to the southwest of Whitewater Bay, Hurricane Harbor. So I-40 that's going to be at Rockwell and Council, and Penn, I-40, developing tornado right there. There it is. It's not very big. But that's, what is that, Southwest 28th at Council. Yep. Tornado sirens in Edmond. That's a tornado right there. I-40 basically at Rockwell and MacArthur. I-40, Rockwell, MacArthur, tornado right there. You see it right there. It's not very big, but it looks like it's a tornado. Look for power flashes, guys. Let me know. It's Hurricane Harbor here. Tornado just to the southwest, Hurricane Harbor. Just to the west of the I-44, I-40 junction in west central Oklahoma City, heading up into Bethany and War Acres. Then from there, it's going up into the Village and Nichols Hills, all right? It's not very big, but that is a tornado, right? It's right there. It's moving almost due north. That's a tornado right there. It's crossing I-40 right now, Rockwell, MacArthur. Let's go back over to Aaron Brackett. Aaron, have you seen any power flashes? Do you see any power
Mike,
flashes?
that's what we're looking for right now. We got the night vision out here. Oklahoma City is just to my left. So this developing tornado is only a couple miles behind us right now. We're on I-40 approaching the Dallas Junction, and we've got the camera, I believe it's facing rear. We got it facing rear. So we're kind of scanning the skies back and forth looking for any power flashes. Haven't seen any just yet. Tons of lightning, though, and this thing has come up really fast. So I-40 Dallas Junction, we're going to head north here on the Broadway extension and follow this thing as it heads, again, toward the village. Anyone in the village heads up. Bethany War Acres, same story, developing tornado there.
Okay, let's go over to Rose State. Let's look at Rose State here. This is going to be a live view. So we're basically looking at downtown. Here's I-40 right here. So downtown's going to be here in the rain. So the tornado's back behind downtown on the far side of downtown from Rose State. So it's right in through here. Cosby, just let me know if you see any power flashes on this camera here, okay? Let's go over to Max 2. We have tornado warnings in northern Oklahoma. So we have tornado warnings in northern. Well, we've got tornado warning also here north of Yukon, all right? So a new tornado warning here. Push into that, Damien. Let's push into it. And if you would, slow that loop rate down. So we've got a tornado warning here on the south side of Piedmont with this storm right here. So Piedmont, Deer Creek, Edmond is where that's tracking. That is a tornado warning right there. All right? Northeastern Canadian, far northwest Oklahoma County, right there. That's going to be crossing Northwest Highway. That's going to be Hefner Road, a little ways to the north of Hefner Road and Northwest Highway. Far north Yukon, south and southeast Piedmont, tornado warning for that one. Let's go ahead and drive on up there to the north. Let's go to Mike Bennett with a quick phoner up here in the Enid area. Let's drive this up there to the north. Mike Bennett, tornado. Let's go back to radar so we can show folks first. Let's go over to northern Oklahoma here. So tornado warning Medford. Tornado warning Medford right here. Tornado warning. You see, you can clearly see the donut there forming. So tornado warning for Medford right now, and tornado warning near Enid. Let's go ahead and head on down to Enid. Yep, keep going. There you go. So right there, Wacomas. Tornado warning, Wacomas moving rapidly northeast. Mike Bennett, quick update for you, northern Oklahoma.
We're in theater parking lot, 80, 90 mile an hour winds.
Okay, Mike, I'm on the east edge of Enid and dropping south here. I'm going to be right in front of this, right in the path of this tornado warning storm that's approaching Wacomas. And so we're going to be on the southeast corner of Enid here we're there. And so we're just going to kind of watch this and watch for power flashes. Right now we don't have anything to our southwest, but we're watching intensely for a lot of lightning down there. But right now that's about all, and we're driving in some pretty strong winds out of the south. Back to you.
Okay, so let's go back over to Max 1. Was that Aaron Sanders had 90-mile-an-hour winds? Dawson? So tornado warning for this storm right here southeast of Piedmont. And then on back down, tornado warning War Acres and Bethany. Tornado warning also for Norman. Tornado warning for Norman right here, coming right into Norman right now. Safety precautions, Norman right now. Tornado warning coming into Norman literally in the next few minutes. That's got a pretty decent hook on it. So that could potentially be a reasonably powerful tornado, Norman, all right? Interior closet or bathroom, away from windows. Mobile homes are not safe. Let's go to Dawson here. He's got 80 to 90-mile-an-hour winds. Go.
Yeah, Mike, we're actually in the Warren Theater parking lot. Just in the past 5 minutes, winds have rapidly increased to 60, 70, 80, 90-mile-an-hour winds. We've actually had to point our truck into the wind, and it was shaking it pretty hard here about 3 or 4 minutes ago. Winds have been changing directions left and right on us, but we'll stay on top of it. Back to you.
Okay, let's go to the rotation here at Goolsby. Back over to 1. Back over to 1. Strong rotation here at Goolsby. Heading up into Norman right now, especially central and south and east Norman. Strong rotation over Goolsby. Tornado warning, Goolsby, Norman, central, south, and east Norman. Tornado warning here. Moving northeast around 65 to 70 miles an hour. Damaging straight line winds, tornado warning there. Let's go back over to Aaron Brackett. So basically Norman up through Oklahoma City up to Edmond. Tornado precautions, everybody. Go, Aaron.
Yeah, Mike, there's so many spin ups here all over the place. We are almost at I-44 and Broadway Extension. Let's go ahead and switch to that roof camera if we can, and we're gonna pan out to the left side of the vehicle, the interceptor, and that's going to be looking west. And we're looking for power flashes. We keep looking for them. I'll tell you, the rain just let up a little bit right now, so that's a little concerning. North 36th Street and Broadway Extension, the rain just let up. So I know we're kind of pacing with the wind, but the rain just let up, and with these little spin ups, that's a little concerning. So we're gonna keep trucking north here. Heads up in the village. You're talking about Norman's little spin ups there. I mean, they're all along this line. They really are quite a volatile situation in Oklahoma City. But back to the front camera, I want to show you how the rain has really let up intermittently. So we could be getting some updrafts here. Of course, that's not a great situation. Folks need to be inside, away from windows. Mike?
Okay, let's go back over to radar. So the areas of concern we have right now is going to be Deer Creek, Edmond, with this storm right here. Deer Creek, Edmond, tornado warning there. And then Bethany, over to War Acres, up to the Village and Nichols Hills. Concern there for you. You should be away from windows, interior closet or bathroom. And for the Goolsby, now Noble, through central, southern, and eastern Norman. Tornado warnings there right now. So those are all tornado warnings. We'll zoom on in here and show you the rotation. There's the rotation now near Deer Creek, Edmond. So that's the tornado warn rotation there. And a possible tornado here continues. It's going to be up here now in the Village, coming into the Village right now. There it is right there. That looks like a tornado lifting basically due northward on the east side of Bethany up to the Village. Let's go ahead and drive that manually, Damien. Let's go ahead and go to velocities here on 2 and drive this manually. And so that's a tornado there. Doesn't appear to be incredibly strong, but it looks to be like a hopscotching type situation here. Over to max 2. And let's go ahead and drive this manually here and take a look. And you might change your color table over there. And that is going to be there on the west side of the Village right there. So basically it's going to be on the Lake Hefner Parkway. Lake Hefner Parkway, Lake Hefner, right there, basically eastern side of Lake Hefner, that's where that is, on the Lake Hefner Parkway. That is a tornado, and that's why there's a tornado warning out for the Village area, up to Mercy, up into Edmond. That's exactly why. That is a little tornado right there. Let's go ahead and go down the line here and take a look. Down the line here from UCO on down into Norman. So there's the circulation at Norman. Eastern side of Norman now is where that is, near the National Weather Center. Highway 9, east side of Norman. Tornado warning continues there. Clearly visible, moving northeasterly at about 70 miles an hour. That's a pretty strong signature right there. Let's go back over to Aaron Brackett and the Interceptor, get an update from Ground Truth here. Aaron, what do you have?
Yeah, Mike, the rain's starting to end. Still lots of high-velocity winds here. We're at 63rd. We're going to turn around and head on I-40 and track this eastward here. So many little spin-ups. It really is incredible. But, the rain letting up right now exactly where we are. And, we're following these. We're going to track this into Midwest City and see what we see down there as this continues just blasting through the metro very, very rapidly here. It's a very fluid, changing situation that folks need to be aware of. Rain letting up here in this part of town, but again, still some spin-ups possible as you're talking about. Okay,
there's lots of spin-ups going on, that's for sure. There's nothing just crazy intense in terms of big time tornadoes, but lots of spin-ups here. And there's a lot of high velocity straight line winds out there. So you just want to make sure you stay away from those windows and that interior part of your home, interior closet or bathroom. A lot of spin ups. Nothing's crazy strong, but a lot of spin ups in multiple locations that happen very quickly and then dissipate pretty quickly too. Let's go back over to radar here on max 1. And still that rotation near Deer Creek, Edmond right there, lifting on up here toward Waterloo Road to the west of Oak Tree. Seward and Navina and Lake Liberty and Lake Guthrie heading up your way. And then we'll head on down here toward Norman. Hook there east of Norman. Likely a tornado there. East side of Norman, Highway 9, East 48th Street. East 48th Street and Highway 9, likely tornado there, moving over toward Pink and Lake Thunderbird. Likely tornado there, moving northeast at a higher rate of speed. And there's that rotation there, Waterloo Road, up there north of Deer Creek. And we'll zoom on in. and rotation, there it is coming out of the village right there. So just passing by the village, may or may not be on the ground, tough to say, but that's the tornado right there. A little ways west of the KFOR studios here. It's up there pretty close to Memorial Road and Pennsylvania and Western. So it's going into Edmond, right? That's 50 pin looking to the northeast. So that's looking up into South Edmond right there. Cosby, you have not seen any power flashes on here, is that right? Now, Kevin Cosby, our director, has not seen any power flashes from our multiple cameras. This one's at 50 pin up here. They're the TV antenna towers. So if there were a tornado in through here, we would see power flashes. But you can see for yourself, that is Edmond right there. That's Edmond right there. That cluster of lights is Edmond. And here's basically Britton Road, and the Broadway extension is right here. So you're looking north up into Edmond, and there are no power flashes there, and Kevin has not seen any, so that's good. There's a lot of high wind out there, so you're going to want to stay away from windows, but small spin-ups, a lot of these don't appear to be on the ground very long, or most of the time they are not on the ground. The one on the east side of Norman appears to be the strongest one right now in the metro in terms of a likely tornado. Interesting feature there, some inflow. It looks like it's going in to that rotation, and it is right up. We're looking right at it just there on that camera, and there are no power flashes with that, so that's good. So we're going to zoom on out here. Another area, hot spot there just east of downtown Oklahoma City, west side of Midwest City, so kind of a hot spot there, localized damaging winds, and man, that's a big-time tornado right there. Man, let's zoom on into that. That's a big-time tornado. That could be a damaging like F2 tornado. That's a big-time tornado. Northwest of Denver and southeast of Franklin, heading for Stella. That's a big-time tornado. Let's hope that stays in rural countryside, because that's going to produce big-time damage. Look at that, spinning up like a sink drain right now. So it's essentially over Lake Thunderbird is where that is. That's much stronger than anything going on in Oklahoma City right now. That definitely 100% is a tornado. So traveling over Lake Thunderbird now, you folks over in Dale and McLeod and Hera, stay alert and take your tornado precautions. So Draper Lake, Stella, north of Pink, and Dale and McLeod, I-40 at the casino. Say that again?
3.
Max 3. Let's go to Max 3. These are going to be the CCs. These are the debris signatures, and there's one right there. So that's a tornado on the ground right there. So it's going to be coming over Draper right now. Confirmed debris in the air, and it essentially came out of East Norman. See that? There's the OU campus. It came out of East Norman at about 36th Street East and Highway 9 about 3 minutes ago. So it came out of East Norman, tornado on the ground, confirmed debris signature, crossing over Draper Lake. That signature is much, much stronger than anything in Oklahoma County, at least right now. Let's hope it stays that way in terms of not having tornadoes in populated areas, and this stays over rural countryside. But it's over Draper Lake. Just came off of Lake Thunderbird, likely as a water spout. And it's now rapidly heading on up here toward McLeod and Dale and Twin Lakes. McLeod, Dale, and Twin Lakes, near and south and east of Hera. Confirmed tornado, debris signature, tornado on the ground right now, very close to Draper Lake. South of I-40, northeastern Cleveland County, confirmed tornado. Back over to 1. Let's take a look at it on 1. Big time swirl here, sink drain, whatever you want to call it, that's it. Could easily be F2, F3 type intensity. That's a strong tornado right there. Strong tornado. Look at the sink drain effect. And it's heading basically right on up toward Twin Lakes. So Twin Lakes and Dale and McLeod. And just north and west of Pink, but that's a big time tornado right there. We are fortunate it was not any warmer in the metro today than it was, because that's a big time tornado. By far the most dangerous storm in the state right now. Let's go back over to Aaron Brackett, get an update from Aaron. Aaron?
Yeah, Mike, right now, getting onto I-40, we're going to go at that. We're going to try to see if we can intercept it as it crosses I-40. Let's hope it doesn't hold together. But, gosh, I mean, but between the CC and The debris being lofted and the fact that it's right near the Twin Lakes radar. I mean, it's on the ground and it's big. It's very big. It looks ominous. We still have lightning off to our east. We're heading after it. We'll probably be pretty close on I-40 as it crosses if it maintains. I mean, let's hope it does, and let's hope it falls apart. But we're going to be pretty close to it as it crosses I-40 here coming up in a couple minutes.
Okay, so if you're just now joining us here, we can clear the West Metro. We can clear you from any tornado threat. Piedmont, Yukon, Mustang, we can clear you of any additional tornado threat. So here it is, 9:32, and the West Metro now is clear of any tornado threat, clearing you of that. There's nothing. This is all dry air out here. So it's going to be now along I-35 and east of I-35 here at 9:32. Track into the east, and we'll zoom on in here. Again, big-time tornado here, just passing Draper Lake, heading on up there toward Twin Lakes. Still don't see anything too ominous in terms of big-time tornadoes here. Edmond, talk about Edmond, up into Logan County. There's nothing big-time right there. Again, little swirls, but we've seen no power flashes. We've got quite a few elevated cameras that are auto-tracking these across the metro, and we have not seen any power flashes with these. So not saying there hasn't been any tornadoes in Oklahoma City. However, we've not seen any power flashes. Auto-tracking those cameras from elevated positions, have not seen any power flashes. So that's good. Little spin up there, just west of Jones, little spin up there near Arcadia. It's pretty much over Lake Arcadia right now. Small, but yes, definitely there. Little spin ups, but doesn't appear to be big time. But then you head on down here, and this is big time here. That's a damage. You can see debris signatures in the velocity here. Let's go back over to the debris detector. Let's go back over to the debris detector. Yes, it's still on the ground. So it's now past Draper Lake. It's still on the ground right there. The debris field looks to be over a half a mile wide, and it's still there. So it's quickly heading up to McLeod. I-40, the casino. I-40 casino here between Pink and McLeod, the Dale area, right? Twin Lakes area, that's where it's heading at a high rate of speed. Coming up here in just a couple of minutes. So the Twin Lakes, Dale, McLeod area, tornado precautions, and that storm cellar or basement is best, or interior closet or bathroom is best. This has been a strong tornado. Just looking at it on radar, EF2 plus, the way it looks. Just looking at it, the debris signature, the velocity signature, EF2 plus, the way it looks. And it's been on the ground now since it looked like about East 36th, maybe even East 24th in Norman, just north of Highway 9, right? So we're talking about, Lindsay, just south of Lindsay, just north of Highway 9 in East Norman. Looks like it set down there first, and now it's up here in northeastern Cleveland County. Dale, I-40 and Choctaw Road, very close, just south of there. I-40 Choctaw Road, just south of there, over to Dale and McLeod. So that's a big-time tornado right there. And it's moving up into Pottawatomie County to the north of Pink and to the west of Tecumseh. You folks in Shawnee, you need to think about where you need to go to be safe. If it continues, it's going to be the west side of Shawnee, not too far down the road here. Let's go back over to Max 1, and wow. So it has now a hurricane-looking eye to it. So big-time tornado, big one. It's at least a half a mile. It's a big tornado. Powerful tornado right there. It's got an eye, everything. Push on into that, Damien. Push on into that.
Got it on 2.
So go over to 2, and we'll push on in. Yeah, big time tornado. So Stella right now. Everybody in Stella should be in their safe spot. Safest place go there now. Stella, everybody, do it now. You literally have like a minute, right? Stella, small town here, very close to Draper Lake, not too far from Twin Lakes. You got to be in your safe spot right now. It's coming right over the top of Stella, and it's on the ground. Confirmed damage. Right now, it's been on the ground for about 10 miles. Right over Stella right now. Let's go back over to 1 and look at the motion there. Yeah, it has an eye in it. Big time tornado there. Moving quickly into Pottawatomie County. Bethel Acres, Twin Lakes, tornado warning. And west and north Shawnee, tornado warning. Dale, the casino, tornado warning. Again, West and North Shawnee, Twin Lakes, Bethel Acres, tornado warning. And that's a big-time tornado there. It's safe to say you're looking at EF2 type or higher in terms of the wind here, 120, 125, 130. That's a big-time tornado. It's quite strong. That might be conservative. That's a big-time tornado there. And it's still powerful and very much still on the ground. Let's go back over to the debris detector and see. It's basically going into Pottawatomie County, still on the ground right here. Damien, take that and track. There you go. Track it over here toward Pottawatomie County. So Twin Lakes, you folks in Twin Lakes, big-time threat here. Big-time threat, Twin Lakes, Bethel Acres, and West and North Shawnee. Shawnee Mall, all in through there, just south and east of I-40 and Choctaw Road, big time threat. So control room, we have a couple of trackers here eastbound on 40. Let's go ahead and talk to, and also not Highway 9. Let's go to Dawson here. Dawson, go. Go ahead, Dawson.
Eastbound. Yeah, Mike, we were eastbound on Highway Avenue here on the south side of Norman. And as soon as we can get flipped back around here, I just saw a bunch of the fire trucks. In fact, there's more coming this way. But happened to look off to the side of the road, and there's probably a tree, probably 4 or 5 foot in diameter, that's down on the side of Highway 9 over here.
Okay, so he's reporting a large tree down on a Highway 9. That was either from the inflow to the tornado or the tornado itself. Most of the time it was north of Highway 9, but pretty good sized tree down. So it's either from inflow into the tornado or the tornado itself. Let's go back over to, well, Dawson's pretty much, see if his phone's back here with us. Dawson, you're still there? Okay, let's go back over to radar here. So again, dangerous situation here for Pottawatomie County. Ongoing tornado. It's been on the ground for over 10 miles now. Still has an eye. Could be a half a mile wide. That's a big tornado right there. Big time tornado. And it's coming right into Twin Lakes right now. See your roads here. There's I-40. The casino's located right here. So big time tornado threat for the casino. Just south and east of New Walla, but big time tornado threat for the casino. All right? Everybody in the casino should be in their safe spot. I'm sure they're taking their precautions, but they need to be like right now because it's just a couple of minutes away from the casino. And it's turned a little bit, maybe a little more here to the north, and it's pretty much right there at the casino. Let's go back over to Dawson, see if we have him. You folks all around that casino, make sure they're in their safe spot. Big time deal right here. Looks like wind damage and or tornado damage east of Norman here. Dawson, go.
Yeah, Mike, we got flipped around here. We're just west of 12th on Highway 9. You know, so you can see in my shot here, there's a pretty big tree down here. It is not impacting the roadway at this time, but a little bit further up the road, we're getting more reports of damage the further east you go on Highway 9. In fact, we're seeing more first responders coming up to the scene here at on Highway 9th and 12th. But we'll see what we get into further along Highway 9. Back to you, Mike.
Well, I tell you what, the casino, if it doesn't lift, we don't wish this on anybody, but if it doesn't lift, the casino's going to almost get hit. Let's go back over to the radar here and look. Let's go back over to 1. So here's Highway 102 right here that goes down to Dale, right? So here's I-40. So here's the tornado, clearly right here. And it's coming up to I-40, barely into Pottawatomie County. The casino is right here. This is where the casino is. It's right here. And you can clearly see the tornado. It's a pretty good-sized tornado, too. It's a powerful tornado. And it's going to be crossing I-40, barely into Pottawatomie County, at Highway 102. And the casino is located right here. So this is going to be right over and just north of Twin Lakes and Bethel Acres, and to the west of Clark Heights and Shawnee, and just to the east of I-40 and Choctaw Road. We'll let the new scans continue to come in, but we need this to lift because it's still on the ground, and it's going to be within a mile, maybe a mile and a half of the casino. Right now, it might go just on the west side of the casino, but maybe not. It's heading pretty much right for it. at 102 and I-40. So everybody there, tornado precautions, got to go to the safest place you know, and let's hope this lifts. Let's go back to Dawson with a quick update.
Yeah, Mike, we're just now rolling up on scene here at 12th and Highway 9. And if you can kind of see over here, as I'll zoom my shot in here, there's a large power pole that's been pushed over here. And it's a mess over here on Highway 9, Mike. Back to you.
Okay, let's go back over to radar. So here's the casino right here. This is the casino right here, and here's the tornado. The tornado's on I-40, a mile west of the casino is where it is right now. On the south side of that, there's high-velocity damaging winds. But this is a very dangerous tornado. It's on I-40, so there shouldn't be anybody here on I-40, obviously. We've got the Interceptor and Aaron Brackett here at New Wall on 40. But that's a tornado, and it's on the ground, and it's on I-40 right now. A mile due west, maybe a mile and a half, due west of the casino. But it's a large tornado, so the tornado strength winds are coming around the south side of it. There's high velocity winds coming into the casino right now. So we're talking about 102 and I-40 with a confirmed tornado on the ground now for about 12 to 14 miles that came out of East Norman, now located at 102 and I-40, just east of New Walla, just east of Choctaw Road and I-40, and just west of Shawnee. Let's go to Aaron Brackett and the Interceptor. Aaron?
Yeah, Mike, we are just in New Walla right now, just a couple miles west of the casino, and I'm seeing, gosh, it's really hard to tell if it's lightning or if it's power flashes. I mean, the air is so thick and soupy out here. You're looking at the front GoPro camera. It's a wide-angle lens, so it's going to try to capture everything, that we're seeing out the front windshield. And, I mean, just as of the last couple minutes, we've started to see these flashes, and, it almost seemed like some of them had a green or blue tint. You see that right there? Yeah, it almost looks like a greenish-blue tint. And that one was just ahead, maybe a little bit to the right of where we're going on I-40. Again, this is going to be right in front of us, right in front of the Interceptor. Winds have picked up a little bit. We're not far away from it, Mike. We're going to be right up on this as it crosses I-40. We're hoping the people in the casino are taking precautions right now.
Okay, big-time damaging winds coming into Shawnee. There's also, let's go back over to 1. So there's a tornado warning for northeast Oklahoma County. So west of Luther here, but it's lifting. It's not incredibly strong, but it's there. Northeast of Arcadia and west of Luther. In far northeastern Oklahoma County, it's going to cut across the far southeast section of Logan County near Fallis and Dudley. So northwest of Luther here, that's a tornado there with a tornado warning. Doesn't look to be incredibly strong. The tornado here appears to be weakening. It looks like it's still on the ground, about a mile and a half due west of the casino, but big-time damaging winds of 100. Twin Lakes, Bethel, Acres now coming into west, certainly west and north Shawnee. And the casino is getting rocked right now with big-time rear flank downdraft winds. Big-time rear flank downdraft winds coming through the casino right now. Back over to Aaron Brackett. So, Aaron, you sure may have seen power flashes there. Tell us what you see right now.
Yeah, Mike, I've seen just past Peebly Road here, and we're seeing lots of flashes. I don't know if they're. That's a power flash. That's 100% a power flash. You might see it on a little delay here, but it's green and it lit up from the ground up, right in front of us. Let's go to Chase Cam. Let's see if we can change over to Chase Cam. Might have a little better color on it. That was 100% a power flash, Mike. Right in front of us, I-40. We're blasting eastward right now. Okay.
Yes, it's still on the ground. It's north of I-40 now at Garrett's Lake Road and South 3340 Road is where it is. It's going to be it's going to be literally a mile northwest of the casino now. North side of the casino, still on the ground. The casino's getting big time wind right now. Let's go back over to 1. So we'll zoom on in. So here's the casino right here. Those are winds of about 100. The tornado is right here. Here's the tornado right here. So it's a mile and a half northwest of the casino, but these are winds of about 100 right here. Let's go back over to Dawson here with an update, also in that part of the county. Dawson?
Yeah, Mike, we're still here at Highway 9 and 12. In fact, one of the Norman firefighters just came over and talked with us briefly. He said in 17 years he has never seen one of these steel transmission line towers get blown over. He said they were actually at the station, but he was guessing that winds had to have been 120, 130 to push this pole over. Mike?
Okay, so that is located where, Dawson?
This is at the intersection of Highway 9 and 12th Avenue Southeast on the south side of Norman. And, in fact, Norman Fire was just telling us to try and let everybody know that Highway 9 is closed from 12th Avenue pretty much as far east as you can go while in Cleveland County. But we'll stay here for you, Mike.
Okay, the tornado is now just on the southeast side of McLeod. Just on the southeast side of McLeod is where it is right now. Let's go back over to 1. So just here on the southeast side of McLeod. Tornado probably still on the ground right here, just on the southeast side of McLeod. So it's about 2.5 miles now to the north of the casino. But the casino's got big-time wind right here. So that continues with a tornado warning here. The high winds are going to be coming into West and North Shawnee for sure. Winds are likely over 100 miles per hour in through here. In fact, if you take that color right there as to what that color is, that is about 125 mile an hour wind. Straight line wind on the south side of the circulation racing to the northeast. So big time damaging winds. The west and north side of Shawnee. That's I-40 right there. So you folks up around Meeker and Prague, Highway 62, it's heading your way. You've got to be away from windows, storm cellar, or basement. Safest place you can go. Big that's heading up your way, up towards 62 in Lincoln County. But that is, the tornado may or may not still be on the ground, but it's up here on the east side of McLeod is where it is right now. Let's go back over to Aaron Brackett in the Interceptor. Aaron? So Aaron is now not too far from I-40 at the casino, the 102 highway right there. Aaron, can you hear us?
Mike, since we last talked, we've had about 9 power flashes right at the front window, 9 of them. It's lit up like green almost every 20 to 30 seconds. Wow, yeah, we're not too far from the casino, only a couple miles away. Still seeing power flashes. The percent of flash that comes to the ground, it lasts a few seconds, it's green. I'm not sure if that's from high velocity winds. There's still something on the ground.
Okay, so you're going to be coming up on what will likely be a damaged path across Interstate 40 literally here in the next minute or so. You probably now crossed into Pottawatomie County. The tornado warning does continue for Meeker and Prague. All right, Meeker and Prague, what you got to know is it's been about a 15 to 18 mile long track from the south side of Norman up to just north of the casino. And it may or may not have lifted. It may or may not have lifted. It may still be on the ground. So Highway 62, Meeker, red line, center line for you, and Prague down Highway 62. The rotation there is now on 102, just due north of the casino, and big time high velocity winds of 100, maybe 100 plus when the tornado's actually producing on the south side of the tornado itself. Let's go back over to Aaron Brackett, by far the most dangerous storm in the state right now. Aaron?
I mean, this thing is just ripping up and down I-40. I mean, we're just going to, it's a matter of time. We crossed the Pot County about 2.5 miles ago. It's a matter of time until we see damage. I'm believing we're going to see something here any moment. Power flashes haven't happened in about 2 minutes now, but there was a string where we had 9 in about 3 minutes. So if it's straight line winds, 100 mile an hour winds, if it's little spin ups, whatever it's doing, it's shredding things up out here. It's shredding trees. It's knocking into power lines, knocking power lines down. We're just waiting here any moment to come into a damage path.
Okay, we're going to stay with you here, Aaron. Tornado warning continues for, let's go over to, while we're waiting here, let's go back over to Max 1. And here's the current warnings that we have. Tornado warnings here. Northwestern Noble. So that's Billings. Over to west of Marland and south of Tonkawa. Tornado warning up here for Bremen in northern K County. So northern K County, tornado warning. Tornado warning for southern K County. Severe thunderstorm warnings either side of that. A bit of a break here in the Stillwater area, back through Logan County. And then tornado warnings here. The Luther circulation north of Luther, not very strong. But there's been a tornado warning on that one. Big time threat here, big time threat. Here we are at almost 10 p.m. Highway 62, Meeker. Highway 62, Meeker, big time threat, tornado warning, severe thunderstorm warnings all the way down to Carter County in southern Oklahoma. The central and west metro is clear. Everybody, I-35 west is totally clear, except for right on I-35 up in far northern Oklahoma. But everybody else here is clear. And here's the big view showing the squall line racing to the east at about 70 miles an hour. Skies have cleared. It's very windy in western Oklahoma, but very dry. Big time threat here, Meeker, going forward. So southern Lincoln County, big time threat for you. And then up here in Kay County, Tonkawa area, and then also up here by Bremen and up toward Ark City in southern Kansas. So let's go back over to Aaron Brackett here with an update. Aaron?
Okay, Mike, we're coming up on the casino right now. So far, no damage that we've seen on I-40. We're, of course, going to look for a little bit before we get off this on the way back. We're still following it. Power flashes haven't happened in a couple minutes, which is good. We like to see that not happening, of course, but this area has definitely seen high velocity winds. And, we're right here at the casino. I can tell you the casino it looks remarkably fine. It looks okay, which is really, really good news. Of course, we know that, a lot of people in there a lot of the day, and it looks like the casino is fine. So we're still continuing towards Shawnee, moving eastward on I-40 here. And I can tell you lightning rates have come down just a little bit, and we haven't had power flash in several minutes. That's good.
Okay, that is really good news. So we're going to take a look here at the debris detector, and we do not see any immediate sign of any debris. So just looking at that up here in Lincoln County, don't see it right here. So that's the debris detector there. Don't see any immediate. There might be a little bit of like leftover debris that's still coming, literally still coming, falling out of the sky. So you see that kind of fluttering looking stuff right there. That could easily be debris on the what we call the front flank coming out of the sky, like leaves and small pieces of debris and such. So that's probably what that is right there north of Shawnee. But as far as a ball of debris, like a tornado, don't see that. But that's probably the debris fluttering back down from earlier when it was on the ground for about 15 minutes or so. Let's go back over to Max 1 and look at the presentation here on 1. On Max 1 here. So the rotation here is basically on the right over on the south side of Meeker is where it is right now. That's where that rotation is, right over on the south side of Meeker. So you folks in Meeker, still tornado precautions here, but we don't really seem to see a tornado on the ground right now in that, but it is obviously a big circular shape, and some of this is likely some debris coming down in the what we call the front flank right here. So the hook is right here, and some of this is probably some leaves and things, debris coming down. It was that strong of a tornado. Let's go back over to Dawson with a live update. Dawson?
Yeah, Mike, we're over here off Imhoff Road in Norman, and we're basically right on the north side of the Hitachi factory over here, the Hitachi facility. And there's a bunch of trees, as you can see, on their facility grounds. And here in just a minute, we'll flip back around. We're kind of stuck in a little bit of traffic here, but we'll flip back around. And there's water lines that are actually on the top of the fire suppression systems are actually spraying off of the roof at absolutely crazy PSIs, and the fire alarms are going off on the building. And as I turn the camera to in front of us, there's actually, it looks like a tree and a power line, more power lines down in the road over here. Back to you, Mike.
Okay, let's go over to Aaron Brackett in the Interceptor. Aaron?
Yeah, Mike, we're about pulling in Shawnee right now. So Shawnee is where we're at here in the Interceptor, and still seeing the lightning. Of course, it looks like more lightning on the left-hand or north side of the road right now than the right-hand side or the south side of I-40. It looks like there could be something just south of Meeker trying to hold together. And I mean, that would correlate with the lightning that we'd be seeing out the left side of the vehicle, so north of I-40. We are about 4 miles due southwest of that feature between Johnson and Meeker on the north side of the road. We've got strong southerly winds kind of kicking in and feeding that. Actually, those have really just increased now, kind of pushing us along on the road. So, folks in Meeker got to watch out for that. But I can tell you still, since we talked last, no power flashes. We had a really big bout of them for a while, but no power flashes right now.
Okay, so you're north of Shawnee. Look on to your northeast. Let's go back over to radar, Max 1. Another tornado developing here quickly on the leading edge, the gust front here. So it's going to be just southwest of Prague. So the original circulation, you see it here coming out of the McLeod right there. So the original circulation's on the west side of Meeker. Doesn't appear to be on the ground. Still has a tornado warning for it, though. But it's on the west side of Meeker. Continue your precautions here, tornado precautions. But a new tornado may be forming on the southeast side of Meeker. North of I-40, Lincoln County, west of Prague. So southeast and east sides of Meeker. And here's your time of arrival here, Prague, coming up here in about 5 minutes, especially the west and north side of Prague. Let's go to Corey Inman here with an update. Corey?
Blown over and another car in the ditch. Emergency vehicles are on the scene. Highway patrolman here. If you give me just a few minutes, I'll speak with him, see what's going on.
Okay, let's go back over to Max 1 here, give you an update on all the warnings that we have. So if you live in central and west Oklahoma City and west of I-35, you're clear. So the severe weather threat is ended. Just to kind of refresh what we've gone through, we had 114 mile an hour winds confirmed in southwest Oklahoma earlier, had a tornado northwest of Mangum, had a tornado likely north of Mangum, had a tornado for a while north of Hobart. That was quite a bit earlier. And then we probably had a couple of tornado touchdowns briefly in northern Grady County earlier. And then we had a big-time tornado that tracked for about 15 miles from the south side of Norman. Looks like it was all the way back maybe at about 12th to 24th and Norman near Highway 9. And it lifted southwest of McLeod. So it was on the ground for, that's about 17, 18, 19 miles. And it looked like it was up there in that EF2 or greater category. And that looks like it's probably lifted now. New tornado warning now near Stratford. Let's go over to Max 2. So new tornado warning for Stratford. Let's go over to Max 2 and check it out on 2. So Stratford here, and it's right here. So this area here, northeast of Pauls Valley. Is that TLX?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's right here. So Byers over into northwestern Pontotoc County, west and north of Ada to Bing is where that's going. But that's a developing tornado there. Rotation right now is not crazy strong, but it's coming up. The red's getting hotter and the green's staying pretty hot. So that's a tornado warning. Byers, Stratford, up to Bing and along the river there, south of Asher and up toward Kanawha. So everybody in here, you're under a tornado warning. Kanawha, Bing, north of Ada, Stratford, Byers, east of Pauls Valley, and all the way up to Sasakwa. Sasakwa, Kanawha, Bing, Stratford, Byers, near and south of Asher. All tornado warnings here. Let's go back over to Aaron Brackett in the Interceptor here, north of Shawnee on 40.
Yeah, Mike. Right here, we're actually going to Meeker right now. We just got off I-40 heading north to Meeker. As we were coming into Shawnee, there was a really narrow path of some tree debris in the middle of I-40. It wasn't anything big, but it was definitely pieces of wood and bark and leaves in I-40. In the middle. Right now, as we're getting ready, we're on Harrison Street heading north to Meeker, and I'm going to make the turn here as the light turns green. There's people underneath the underpass here taking shelter in their vehicles. We can see lots of rain curtains lit up very well in the city lights of Shawnee on the north side of Shawnee, and just some rain curtains right here. But there was some high-level winds. We never saw any massive debris field on I-40, so the tornado might have lifted temporarily right near the casino. I wasn't looking at radar, of course, as closely as you all were back there, but it's very possible that it lifted just barely in the nick of time, Mike.
Okay, let's go back over to 3 and look at the debris detector. And we have a new debris plume that appears to has come up between Meeker and Prague. So this is still pretty much that same area, but it's right there along that there's a great big mesocyclone in here. It's a great large mesocyclone that has little sub-vortices inside of it. And that's a new area of debris there that is plumed up south and east of Meeker and west of Prague. So Aaron Brackett, look for power flashes there, of course. Let's go back over to 1. So that's an ongoing tornado warning there. And here's the rotation here, again, northeast of Meeker now. Sparks, and from there, kind of up towards Stroud. It's going to kind of head up towards Stroud here, but west and north of Prague. High velocity winds here in the Prague area, but that's a tornado there northeast of Meeker, and we have a debris signature on it. So that's a confirmed tornado back on the ground in Lincoln County. Basically, the old tornado lifted and the new tornado quickly formed. They're on the either side of Meeker is what happened, right? You can see that happening right there, but that is a tornado there. Just south of Sparks, lifting at about 70 miles an hour up into eastern Lincoln County right now. Let's go back over to Aaron Brackett. Any power flashes up there looking northeast of Meeker?
No power flashes right now, Mike. We're getting ready to come into the south side of Meeker right now. We've got some emergency vehicles here, trying to see exactly what the situation is. It looks like a vehicle accident has happened here. Not sure if it was weather related, but this is Garrett's Lake Road, south of Meeker. We have 2 vehicles that are in the middle of the road. So no power flashes. We're going to keep trying to see if we can follow this into Meeker, Mike.
So when you say 2 vehicles in the middle of the road, are they stalled out, or what's their story?
It looks like they are. Yeah, there was a crash that happened here. It looks like there's a Ford Focus. The front end is missing. There's an officer here, and then there's another vehicle that's sideways in the middle of the road, and it's missing part of its bumper as well. So might have been a hydroplane. Not sure exactly what that was, but that's just on the south side of Meeker that we're watching, Mike. We're heading north now into Meeker.
Okay. So let's get you an update here. We're going to go to Corey Inman here next. Let's go back over to 1. And on 1 here, ongoing tornado here just to the south of Sparks is where it is. Right here, just south of Sparks. So that's an ongoing tornado heading up to the south side or very close to Stroud, and then into Creek County, heading up basically up toward Bristow is where that's going. So tornado precautions here, moving at about 70 miles per hour. You see the tail here coming around the backside. That's the back of the circulation just on the southeast side of Sparks right now. And that is an ongoing tornado. A lot of wind in Prague right now, heavy rain, probably a little bit of debris coming out of the sky too from that tornado earlier. And a tornado warning down here south of Asher and to the east of Pauls Valley near Stratford right now, heading for Bing and even up toward Kanawha and southern sections of Seminole County. Tornado warning there. Corey Inman, live update here. Corey?
Yeah, Mike, this is it. I-35, the Goldsby, Washington exit. Talked to the OHP trooper. We actually have 2 semi-tractor trailers here. He said the first semi was picked up and thrown off of the interstate. The second semi driver saw that occur and he tried to stop. He was also picked up and thrown off the interstate. And the car you see here was blown off the interstate when it tried to stop. They did have to extricate one of the semi drivers. Everybody else is okay. But looks like this may be an area where tornado crossed I-35, Mike.
Okay, so we're talking about just northeast of Goldsby, and that was the first touchdown. And it may have lifted, may not have lifted, but may have lifted and set back down around South 24th, north of Highway 9, and in South Norman. And that's totally confirmed as well. So the first touchdown with that one may have been down here at Goldsby and I-35. Semi there picked up from the wind, and we had a tornado vortex signature there, so it could have been easily that tornado developing. Let's go back over to 1. So you folks in northern Oklahoma, tornado warning. This is going to be north of Red Rock and to the west of Marland. So tornado warning here. and no immediate sign there of anything incredibly earth-shattering in terms of big-time rotation, but a tornado warning all the same, and it does include Ponca City. So you folks in Ponca City, take your tornado precautions. The line coming in here in the next couple of minutes. That is a tornado warning, northern Noble and southern and southeastern K County over to the Arkansas River. That is a tornado warning there. Let's go back down here. Lincoln County, ongoing tornado east of Sparks right there. You can see the hook coming around, so that's a tornado right there. Zooming on in, and that's heading on up here south of Stroud and north of Prague. And this is rain and probably a little bit of debris coming down in the Prague area from the tornado earlier, looking at that reflectivity there. But we are showing a debris signature here over on 3. We can show that to you if we'll take a look at 3. And there it is right there, just southeast of Sparks. So confirmed tornado on the ground. The debris detector has that heading on up into, it's heading basically for Bristow. You see Bristow up here, Creek County, heading up into the Bristow area. So east of Sparks and south of Stroud right now. The debris is a little bit smaller here, but ongoing debris continues with that one. Let's go back over to Aaron Brackett with an update here, not too far from Meeker.
I think there's no power. There's no lights anywhere.
Yeah.
Aaron, you're on. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mike, we're coming into Meeker here, and there's no power anywhere. They are completely out of power here, and it's been that way for about the last probably 1.5 to 2 miles. We're still just south of the town, but I mean, there's really nothing here. We have seen some tree bark and some leaves and some evergreen needles that were blowing into the street. Nothing huge, no big tree trunks or anything. I'm passing, and there's some power lines that are still up right now, but there's no electricity out here, Mike.
And that's in the town of Meeker proper, Aaron?
Yeah, we're about pulling into Meeker right now. We're just barely south of it, heading towards Sparks afterward, but it's about 2.5 miles now of no one having power. There's houses on the side of the road, buildings, storage units. There's no power. There's a gas station with people under it, and there's no power, so they do not have power out here.
Okay, that's an update from Meeker. No power there in southern Lincoln County. Let's go back over to Max 1 and kind of give you an update here. Got a couple of areas here of circulation with ongoing tornado warnings. This is now east of Oklahoma City, so just south of Stroud, ongoing circulation there with debris. And then basically over Prague and on the east side of Prague, spinning up fast, is another area of rotation. So Prague area there, heading quickly into Castle and Boley in Okfuskee County. So Castle and Boley, Okfuskee County, moving to the east into Okfuskee County. That is a tornado warning there as well. You see the two areas, the cool and the hot right next to each other. Those are both likely ongoing tornadoes there. Both of those have tornado warnings on them. Zooming on in here, east side of Prague now, Castle Boley over here into Okfuskee County. West and north of Okemah is where it's going to travel, Castle Boley Highway 48. So that's a tornado warning there, ongoing for Okfuskee County, and there is the ongoing rotation there, east of Sparks, still on the ground likely. There's Stroud, so heading up towards Stroud and the Turner Turnpike. So the Turner Turnpike at Stroud is going to be dangerous up to Bristow. It's going to parallel or really go right along the Turner Turnpike as it comes up from the southwest here in the next 5 minutes. The Stroud area, tornado warning for you on up into Bristow. So that rotation there, that's the ongoing big mesocyclone there with ongoing debris signatures indicating an ongoing tornado there. Let's go back over to Aaron Brackett, update for the Meeker area, Lincoln County. Aaron?
Yeah, Mike, about to pull into Meeker right now and still no power. So that's about 4.5 miles of no power as we exited I-40 to go north. Lightning's kind of pretty far to our north and east right now. But, I mean, there's a fair number of houses out here where it's dark. Now I'm just making the corner toward Meeker proper, and I can see some lights that are on. So it's basically between Meeker and I-40 where there's no power right now. It's good to know that the town of Meeker does have power. We're going to come in here, kind of take a look, and then kind of backtrack and see if we see some damage where that tornado was on the ground for, many, many miles. It started in Norman and tracked up near Twin Lakes. I mean, the radar presentation on that was impressive to say the least. So we're gonna take a look at that here. But right now, it looks like Meeker is good.
Okay, let's go over to our current watches and warnings right now. So we have three main areas with ongoing tornado warnings near Ponca City, and then on down here into southeastern Lincoln County, near and east of Prague and east of Sparks, and just south of Stroud. So two areas there with tornado warnings, and then on down here southwest of Kanawha and to the northwest of Ada and to the west of Bing, tornado warnings there. And Oklahoma County is now clear. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma County clear of any ongoing severe weather. There will be no additional severe weather. It's going to be windy tonight, and skies will clear. They're doing so rapidly right now. Western Oklahoma's cleared out a lot. So here's the big view. Kansas down to Texas. Squall line moving east at about 70 miles an hour, moving along at a high rate of speed. We'll zoom on in here. So the tornado warned area. Let's go to velocities here and take a look on 2 and look at K County here. So there's still some rotation there. That's the trouble spot is on the west side. Let's go ahead and push on in a little bit there. The west side of Ponca. So this is why there's a tornado warning right here, just to the east of Atwine and to the west of Ponca City. Basically heading into Ponca, up toward the Ponca Airport is where that's heading. So you see the hot red there, and there's the green going the other direction. So this is a pretty big mesocyclone in here. So we have this tornado warning continuing. The Ponca City Airport near and south of Newkirk. So Newkirk down the highway to Ponca City, tornado warning for you. And that rotation right now is a little ways northwest of the Conoco plant by about 4 to 5 miles the way it looks. But it's a big mesocyclone in through here. So there may be multiple areas of some rotation going on in this entire area. So Ponca City's under a tornado warning. The Conoco plant here, very close to, just to the west through northwest of the Conoco plant. Let's go ahead and push in a little more. We'll add the city streets on, I believe, up here in K County. There we go. So there's all the city streets, and here's the rotation right here, just about a mile or two now to the west of Ponca City. So that's why you have a tornado warning. So tornado precautions for Ponca City. Interior closet or bathroom away from windows. You see the hot, the green, the red there coming together. That's now literally there a couple of miles west of downtown and just to the west and northwest of the Conoco plant. So tornado warning here, the entire Ponca City area up through the Ponca City Airport and south of Newkirk, K County, north central Oklahoma. Let's go back over to Max 1. And we're on the big view here on 1. And we're still looking at this squall line pushing to the east. Again, Oklahoma County is clear on Max 1. And so no additional severe weather for the Oklahoma City Metro. Let's go back over to Aaron Brackett with an update. Aaron?
Yeah, Mike, things looking really, really good in the Meeker area. That's good. It's amazing to think that, it wasn't that long ago that we were talking about 114 mile per hour winds just in over in Texas, and Corey's tornado that he had. And then, of course, the large one that, just missed Norman, or just off to the east of it. That's what we're going to go back and kind of take a look at and see if there's some damage just off to the south and west of Newalla. So we're going to go over there because, the correlation coefficient or the debris tracker that you were showing on air, showing lots of debris, we believe that we might have seen some of that had already fallen out of the sky along I-40, thankfully, again, lifting or missing the casino and other areas. But it took a lot of that debris a long time to fall out of the air because it was lofted so high. So likely a strong tornado, and we're going to kind of go back in that direction and see if, we can uncover exactly what happened there.
Okay, Aaron, thank you very much. Is Corey Inman still with us? He had that, what was likely tornado damage down at Goldsby at I-35, the beginning of the Norman tornado from earlier, with some pretty significant damage there. Corey, what do you have?
Yeah, Mike, along I-35, that was the only damage we saw. We're coming up I-35 here. I was trying to get with Damien to see where he wanted us to go from here. But the only damage we saw south of Norman was out there at the Goldsby, Washington exit, where we had the two semis that were picked up and thrown off the interstate.
Corey, thank you very much. So he had a semi that was quote-unquote airborne from eyewitness reports out there at Goldsby at I-35 from likely the initial touchdown of the Norman tornado earlier a little while ago. So let's go back over to Max 1 here and look at the big view. So western Oklahoma's clear, very windy, some 40, 50-mile-an-hour winds coming in. The main core of the storm's now coming into the Panhandle currently, but we are now clear if you live anywhere near or to the west of I-35. We are clear of any severe weather, with the exception of Ardmore down in far southern Oklahoma and I-35 just now clearing in northern Oklahoma. And the storms will continue to rocket to the east at about 70 miles per hour. Tornado warnings ongoing here for Ponca City. And we're going to zoom on in here. That area of rotation now on the north side, just immediately north of downtown Ponca City. So the tornado warning continues there. And another area of rotation there picking up near Red Rock. You see the hook forming right there. So tornado warning there. Red Rock, Marland, and the Horseshoe Bend area of the Arkansas River. So the Horseshoe Bend area on the Arkansas, north and west of Ralston, eventually. But Red Rock, Marlin, rotation hook picking up right there. That could easily produce a tornado. And let's go ahead and go to the velocities here on 2 and look at the Doppler velocities. And this is going to be up here in the Ponca area. And yeah, right there on the northern side of town. Pretty much right there on the northern side of town, just north of downtown Ponca City. This area here, that's exactly where that rotation is. It's not incredibly strong, but it's worthy of a tornado warning. So continue your tornado precautions for Ponca City here for at least another 10 to 15 minutes in Ponca City. And then by that time, it'll be crossing the river over there near Washunga Bay and Kaw Lake and on its way into Osage County. But that rotation right there, literally just near and north of downtown Ponca. Now over on the eastern side of Ponca City, that brand new update right there. But that's why that tornado warning's there. Damien, let's go on down there to the Red Rock area and look down the line. We should see this couplet down here as well. There it is. So right down there at Marland. So really hot reds here, a little bit of green. So this is the rotation down here near Marland and Red Rock. So an ongoing tornado warning here as well. A little bit of a hook there north of Red Rock. So possible tornado could develop here at any time. Again, that's going to pretty quickly head east of Marlin, doing so right now, east of Red Rock and over there toward the Horseshoe Bend area, and then across the river over into Osage County. Let's go back over to Aaron Brackett in the Interceptor. He's over in Lincoln County, areas west of Meeker without power earlier, but Meeker's got at least partial power, if not better.
Yeah, we're kind of coming back southbound right now and seeing more locations and more places that are without power. We're going to kind of come back to that accident and get you a look at that again between I-40 and Meeker. Actually, just driving over some debris in the road on the sides of the road. I know it's really hard to see on the camera here at night. I can't really use the spotlight with oncoming traffic, but there is some small twigs and some kind of bark and mulch, it looks like, shredded off some trees that are mostly on the shoulder, but also kind of in the middle of the road. Coming up on this accident, about 5 or so miles south of Meeker right now. It is in the middle of the road here, and looks like another law enforcement agency has rolled up. This is Highway 18 that we're coming up on right now. So looks like they're getting ready to tow the cars out. Both of them had some significant damage on the front end, and we're going to see what we see here, Mike.
Okay, Aaron, thank you for that. Let's go over to the news desk here with the news gang. Kev?
All right, Mike, we appreciate it. Mike Morgan and the Forewarned Storm team always doing a great job keeping everybody forewarned out in front of the storm. I'm Kevin Ogle along with Adria Goins, and we're worried about damage out in western Oklahoma. Any injuries there as well? We're checking on that.
Yeah, we have been hearing some reports of some damage in Cheyenne area that we are checking into to check on to make sure everyone there is safe.
Yeah.
A lot of damage reports to homes and buildings there. We also have been following very closely the power outages across the state. We do know right now that there's around 50,000 outages across the entire state of Oklahoma right now. So a lot of people affected by this storm.
And when you talk about 50,000, those are just hookups to the customers, a house or a business, so it affects more people than what you might think. So 40,000, Mike always multiplies by a couple or three on that, tells you how many people are involved in the power outages right now.
Yeah, we're also getting some reports of damage that's happening in Norman. We do know that there was an apartment complex in Norman that's been affected, the Avenue Apartments. Some damage reports on Highway 9 and 12th in South Norman, as well as off 36th and Lindsay. We're seeing a lot of downed trees and a lot of buildings that have taken some hit from these storms, too.
And also in Norman, the U.S. Postal Training Center, we're being told the windows were blown out. They have no power there because of those winds and the tornadoes that went through earlier. So we're keeping a close look on all of those things that are coming into us right now. Everybody kind of calling in their damage and whatever else they might have. So we will continue to follow it very closely for you. Of course, Mike, do we need to come back to you?
Well, I thought we might give you kind of an overall weather report and overview, guys, along with a little bit of the forecast. The severe weather not quite over for our viewing area, but it's getting a little closer to being that way as the line moves east at about 70 miles an hour. So let's give you a weather segment here if we can here at 10:20 on our Sunday evening. So here's what we have right now. So we still have a tornado warning just east of Ponca City. So that's going to be southeastern Kay County, and then still a tornado threat near and east of Marland up there in northern Oklahoma, and then a tornado threat north of Okemah and a tornado threat near and north of Ada right now. But if you're anywhere near I-35 or west of I-35, you're totally clear. No additional severe weather, so that's really good news. The line is moving east at about 70 miles per hour. Difficult to tell how many tornadoes we've had, but if I were to just kind of take a thumbnail based on what our trackers have seen and what we've seen on radar, probably in the neighborhood of 6 or 8 tornadoes, something like that. At least 3 or 4 in western Oklahoma, and at least 2 down here in the South Metro and Southeast Metro, probably 3, and perhaps a couple out in Grady County as well. So I think we're looking somewhere between 6 and 10 tornadoes total. Tough to know on this early date here and exactly how many. But the severe weather now, just the circulation center is just now pushing east of Ponca City, but there's heavy rain and hail and wind in Ponca City right now. The tornado warning extends over here to the river, but it's about ready to go into Osage County. The rain's going to lighten up here anytime now in Ponca, but you've got wind and hail and the circulation now east of Ponca City and pushing away. Here's the area in Lincoln County. So there's Chandler. This is going to be the Turner Turnpike right here through Bristow. There's Tulsa County right there. There's the Tulsa Metro. So there's rotation here just on the east side of Stroud with ongoing concern there going up the Turner Turnpike. And then also down here near IXL, rapidly pushing up through Fusky County, about to go into Okmulgee County, showing wind there 75, 80, 85 miles an hour. So that's going to go from Fusky County into Okmulgee County. And then back down here west of Okemah, severe storms there, hail, damaging winds, 70, 80 miles an hour likely, Boley, approaching Holdenville, Weleetka, Wetumpka, and then on down here near and north of Ada, strong rotation there. So tornado warning there, just past the Ada area. Tornado warning there, quickly moving up toward southern Hughes County near Gertie. So the circulation now east of Ada, but an ongoing tornado warning there. So Allen, Gertie, southern Hughes County, out of Pontotoc County, tornado warning there. And looking at the rotation here, so there's the Stroud rotation on the Turner. Doesn't look incredibly strong, but still could produce additional tornadic activity up the Turner Turnpike up toward Bristow, and then on up toward Sapulpa from there. And then also this area here, down east of Ada, tornado warning there, and also indications here near Kanawha of a tornado trying to form there as well. So that's southern Seminole County and northern and northeastern Pontotoc County, all tornado warnings there. Again, there's that activity there east of Stroud, pushing quickly away, but still a possible tornado there. Clearing skies in 43 tonight in Oklahoma City, and this was as of the 10 o'clock hour that I drew this map, so the storm chances have now ended anywhere near I-35. They're basically over, and then a high probability here east. There are your lows, upper 30s and low to mid 40s. Sunshine for Monday, 69 degrees, west wind, windiest in the morning at 20 to 30, and then later tomorrow the wind will come down quite a bit. So it'll be a nice day, just windy in the morning, but clear and sunny and dry. Upper 60s to very low 70s for highs, and in the upper 60s to around 70 statewide. Again, windiest in the morning, late in the afternoon tomorrow. The wind comes down, winds up being a really pretty day. 43 to 69 for tomorrow. No additional storm chances anywhere near or west of I-35. We're totally clear. Skies are clearing outside right now. 41 to 71 on Tuesday. So a nice day there, a little windy. And then we'll have a cold front come in late Wednesday. Wednesday night and Thursday do look wet and also chilly. There may be a little rain-snow mix in parts of our state coming up sometime around Thursday. 40 for low, 48 for high. Obviously too warm for major problems, but there might be some rain-snow mix in parts of our state. Down to 30 as the precipitation ends Friday morning. 48 on Friday and the upcoming weekend. A 55 on Saturday and a 63 on Sunday. And there's the 4 more, 72, some 50s, and then some 60s. Next system is showing up about 8 to 9 days away. Let's go back over to Max 2.